All right, hey, shalom, shalom. Before I begin this lesson, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah, Kodash. Double honors to my elders and apostles of Great Millstone who still rule well. Peace and salutations to the elect out there scattered wherever you may be, right? May Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai bless you and your household, and may you continue to endure. Shalom to you, Akim, on the highways and byways, week in and week out, who sacrifice your who present your bodies as a living sacrifice. May Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai also bless you and your household, and may you continue to endure. All right. It is your brother Debakia from the Sons of Yasharallah, GMS Colorado Springs camp, coming to you again with another live lesson. All right, and this one will be part 2 of This Nightmare is almost over. Okay, and I pray that you're edified, because that's what it's about: edification and exhortation. All right, more or less, this is a walk and talk lesson for this part 2. So excuse the background noise, but let's get context, okay? Because we're going to read about the Assyrians now in the book of Isaiah, chapter 10. All right? And we're going to talk about who the Assyrians were and who they are now, for context's sake. Okay, let's get it. It says, I put in, what did the Assyrians do to the Israelites? This is what AI overview popped up. The Assyrians conquered the northern kingdom of Israel, right? You Latin tribes, ending it as a sovereign nation by its capital. Okay, that's in the book of I believe either First Kings or Second Kings. That's just some secular history to know. All right, over here at GMS, our elders and our bishops on down encourage us to go into secular history and to go into words. All right, let's get that again. The Assyrians conquered the northern kingdom of Israel, all right, ending it as a sovereign nation by capturing its capital, all right, Samaria, in 722 BCE, and deporting, right there, screenshot that. You can't make this shit up, man. What are they doing right now to you Latin tribes, right? They're deporting you. ICE pulling up in all type of strange ass vehicles, putting you in the back, and Lord knows where they're taking you, although there's rumors that they're throwing you off of these flights with shackles on your feet. But you northern kingdom tribes still want to take heed to Esau, Edom, and worship white man. All right, that's why the Lord is killing and destroying you motherfuckers, because it's been a long time coming. You still believe in Caesar Borgia, right? You still believe that nigga is a fucking Edomite, right, from the tribe of Esau, in which we know he comes from, right, the Renaissance era. He is the brother of Lucretia. Once again, you have to study history to understand this mystery. All right? And deporting. All right, by deporting the 10 northern tribes, right, started with Ephraim, because he's the head, on down, into captivity, into slavery. All right? You small hat gutter rats never went into slavery. You made that shit up. You don't even have examples of you getting on slave boats. You stole our identity. All right? It's time's up for you devils. That's exactly why these lessons are pouring out how they are. Into captivity and exile to distant parts of the Assyrian Empire. All right? Assyrian policy also involves resetting foreign peoples. What does resetting mean? Indoctrinating them. All right? That's the reason why 2/3 have to be destroyed on this side, because they're heavily indoctrinated with Esau, Edom's philosophies, in which have nothing to do with the Holy Scripts. Resetting foreign people such as those from Babylon, okay, into the former Israelite territories, all right? Putting people in our land, That's what this is coming down to. And what did they do? What did America do in 1948, right? They placed them small hats in our land in which they swore that that was a prophecy being fulfilled with Ezekiel 37. You fucking devils don't understand the Bible. You don't understand the scriptures. Put it down. All right? Which led to the formation of the distinct Samaritan culture. All right, continuing on. Conquest and deportation. Deportation again. It keeps popping up. That's exactly what, those heathens did in that time. And that is exactly what the heathen Esau Edom, right, is doing right now in today's time. End of the northern kingdom. So this is right after King Solomon. King Solomon's reign had fell, rather. And it reads, the Assyrian Empire under Shalmaneser V, all right, invaded and dissolved the northern kingdom of Israel, also known as the kingdom of Samaria. Okay, this is real history. This is what happened. All right, we're almost done. And then we're going to get into these scripts. Forgive me, I have to get this history. Now it says, fall of Samaria. The capital city, Samaria, fell in 722 BCE after a lengthy siege by the Assyrian Empire. And isn't that what's happening now, right? With King Devil Donald Trump, aka Nero, okay? He's placing a siege in all you so-called democratic neighborhoods. In other words, Jake Black neighborhoods, okay? They're gonna take away your food supply. They're gonna take away your health supply. They're ultimately gonna make you niggas cry out for help, all right, because of the pride. And ultimately, you see, how about Shimmy Hashai doing this to you niggas? We don't care. Do it. Bring it. Bring that siege, King Devil Donald Trump. Do it. Mass exile. The Assyrians deported ICE, right? Come on, nothing new under the sun, y'all. The Assyrians deported tens of thousands of Israelites from the former kingdom into captivity. What's captivity mean? Slavery and exile, also slavery. Sending them to other Assyrian provinces. All right, they were trading you niggas off to these higher elite nations, man. And they're still doing that with the sex trafficking. All right, tell King Devil Donald Trump, aka Nero, to release the files. All right. These deported people became known as the 10 lost tribes, and they're not lost anymore. We know who the tribes are. We know where the we know where the southern kingdom is. We know who the southern kingdom is. We know where the northern kingdom is, and we know who the northern kingdom is. All right. All praises to Yahweh Shem Hashai for the spirit of prophecy and for the elders and the bishops on down. 10 lost tribes because they were assimilated into their new environments, which is when they got on that boat, right, and went to Asareth, which is in, I believe, First Esdras, Slovakia, just roughly paraphrasing, like I said, walking and talking. But it shows how, these so-called indigenous northern tribes got over here to America. That history is in the Bible. Obviously, they won't teach you that in school, but, that's what the prophets are for. All right. Continuing on. Their new environments, all right, resettlement and cultural shift. Foreign resettlement, all right, to weaken local ties and prevent future revolts, all right, that's what's going to happen in this time, okay? There's going to be revolts. You devils are not going to easily get away with your NWO, all right? And you devils as a collective have been actively trying to push this NWO since late 80s, right? Maybe even the early 80s with George Bush Sr. That devil mentions it. All type of devils mention the NWO, New World Order, because ultimately Esau Edom wants to put you tribes back into slavery. All right, to weaken local ties and prevent future revolts, the Assyrians brought people from other parts of their empire, including Babylon, Kucha, Ava, and Hamat, to settle in former Israelite lands. Oh my gosh, you can't make this shit up. Those small hat, gutter rats, Amalekite devils stole our land. They got placed there by Esau Edom himself. Spirit is turned up this morning. All praises to Yahweh Shem Yahshai for that. Whew, this is a nice walk, I ain't gonna lie. All right, proceeding on. Formation of the Samaritans. This is the final point I'm gonna get on the Assyrians. Back then, at least. The remaining Israelite inhabitants who were not exiled eventually intermingled with the foreign settlers. All right, they're not settlers, they're fucking heathens. The stupid ass word that they're using now. Settlers, what the hell do you mean? You mean to tell me you came to this land, raped, robbed, and murdered, but you settled there? No, nigga, you murdered to get that land. What the hell are you talking about? Who developed their own culture and religion, often viewed with disdain by the southern kingdom of Judah. All right, but Judah shall not vex Ephraim, vice versa. But that's what's currently happening right now. All right, you got a portion of our people waking up and realizing we are the Israelites. Then you got another portion of our people, all right, waking up and vexing each other and just hating on each other. That's the reason why Yahweh Shem Yahshai has to knock 2/3 off. All right, let's go ahead and get these scripts now. Isaiah chapter 10 and verse 5. O Assyrian, all right, we just read about the Assyrians, but the modern day Assyrians are the Edomites, okay, your self-proclaimed white man, woman, and child. O Assyrian, the rod of mine anger, okay, you're Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai's whooping stick, okay? You're the rod of Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai's anger. He's going to use you as a tool to put 2/3 of our people to death, rightfully so. All right, like Elder Apostle Tahar says, fuck the 2/3. All right, that YN culture, that shit is dead. That gangster rap culture, all that shit is dead. The future kingdom of earth, the future kingdom that will be here on earth will be ran in total righteousness. There's no ways around that. All right, O Assyrian, the rod of mine anger, Edom, all right, Esau, Edom, and the staff in their hand is mine indignation. That staff in their hand is going to be that gun, that weapon, those bombs, those nukes. That is the Lord's anger towards you niggas. Once again, rightfully so. Isaiah chapter 10 and verse 6. I will send him against an hypocritical nation. I love this scripture. You Jakes are hypocrites. All right, you Israelites are fucking hypocrites. You Israelite leaders are hypocrites. You're still on the fence about the MOTB. Talking about Esau Edom can be saved. Why the hell would you give up your birthright to the devil? Like, you Jakes just need to be destroyed. You're fucking gone in your mind. I will send him, right, Esau Edom. This is a physical man. The spiritual demon, Satan, in the flesh. I will send him against an hypocritical nation and against the people of my wrath. All right, who has the wrath of Yahweh on them? 2/3, right? Of you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you tribes who aren't in his truth. You got Israelite camps on every four corners of the earth as we speak. But you walk past us, you walk past the prophets, you scoff, talk shit, spit on us, think evil thoughts, record us without our permission, okay? I remember when I used to camp with GMS Denver, we used to have this one demon who would come around with a big-ass speaker and play the most absurd music. And we still be flowing in the spirit, okay? You don't think that devil's going to pay for that? I will send him against an hypocritical nation, right? 2/3 Jake. And against the people of my wrath. Once again, 2/3. And I will give him a charge, right? To take the spoil. Esau Edom is about to have his way with you fucking Jakes that aren't in his truth. And we can't stress this enough. In fact, I'm not stressed. I have delight saying that Yahweh Bashim Shai is going to knock off you fucking hypocrites. And I will give him charge to take the spoil, everything, and to take the prey, and to tread them down like the mire. I believe mire goes into shit. Damn. Let's look up mire. Oh, yeah, so that does, it can reference, shit, so whatever. It says in the Bible, myrrh primarily means deep, soft, wet, earth, mud, like the shit you step on every day. All right, that's how Esau Edom is going to step on you jakes. All right, with their military, with their National Guard, FBI, CIA, they're all coming. All right, these are some very frightening times to be alive, especially if you're not in this truth. I will give him charge to take the spoil and to take the prey and to tread them down. What? 2/3 down like the mire, shit, the mud in the streets or of the streets. Salakia. Isaiah chapter 10 and verse 7. Howbeit he meaneth not so, neither doeth his heart think so. But it is in his heart meaning mind in Hebrew, la'ab. But it is in his mind, in his heart to destroy and cut off nations, not a few, right? For he saith, are not my princes altogether kings? Okay. Let me see. Salakia. Is not Klano and Kirkamesh, is not Hamath as Arpad, is not Samaria as Damascus, right? As my hand have found the kingdom of the idols, because that's all you jakes do is worship idols. As my hand hath found the kingdom of the idols, and whose graven images did excel them of Jerusalem and Samaria. Verse 11, shall I not, as I have done unto Samaria, right, and her idols, so do to Jerusalem and her idols. Ultimately, all right, all of you jakes, once again, that aren't a part of this truth, are going to get that ass whooping because you've been disobedient and you've been idolatrous. And Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, including the angels, are completely fed up with the wickedness of you 2/3 jake. All right, Salakia, forgive me, I'm crossing the street. Isaiah chapter 10 and verse 12. Wherefore, right? That means eventually. Wherefore, it shall come to pass that when the Lord Yahweh hath performed his whole work upon Mount Zion. What does Zion mean? Monument. And on Jerusalem, right? Yasharallah. All right. Yasharallah, excuse me. I will punish the fruit of the stout heart of the king of Assyria and the glory of his high looks. Who's the king of Assyria, of modern day Assyria today? All right, King Devil, Donald Trump, all right? Nero, reincarnated, of his high looks. Okay, right now this devil has a very, very prideful look on his face, almost as if he can't be stopped, all right? But Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai is going to put a complete end to this devil's wickedness. Isaiah chapter 10 and verse 13. For he saith, by the strength of my hand, right? Yahweh Shai, I have done it, and by my wisdom, for I am prudent, and I have removed the bounds of the people, and have robbed their treasures, and have put down the inhabitants like a valiant man. Right? Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai is not playing, man. Like, I can't put it into words. Jacob's trouble is here, and it's going to get worse. Isaiah chapter 10 and verse 14. And my hand has found as a nest the riches of the people, and as one gathereth eggs that are left, have I gathered all the earth. And there was none that moved the wing or opened the mouth or peaked. All right? So the spirit of prophecy has to be on you in these last days to teach this glorious gospel. Isaiah 10 and verse 15. It reads, shall the axe boast itself against him that heweth therewith? Nope. Or shall the saw magnify itself against him that shaketh it? These are all rhetorical questions. As if the rod should shake itself against him that lift it up, or as the staff should lift up itself as if it were wood. Because you jakes think you've created yourself. You think you gave yourself this ultimate knowledge. What? You think you gave yourself all these riches. All right, and pride cometh before destruction. And that's what we see happening right now. All pride is at a mass level on earth. No doubt about it. All right. Isaiah chapter 10 and verse 16. Therefore shall the Lord of hosts, right, Yahweh, send among his fat ones leanness, and under his glory shall kindle a fire like the burning of a fire. There goes an example of nukes in the scriptures. Isaiah 10 and verse 17. And the light of Israel shall be for a fire. All right, this truth right now is setting this word on fire. And who's the light of Israel currently? All right, the prophets, the anointed ones, the ones who have this truth, the ones who take heed to the 100% gospel, the ones who don't have holes in our doctrine. And the light of Israel shall be for a fire, and his Holy One for a flame. Who's the Holy One? Yahweh Shai, right? His only begotten Son, the first spirit ever created, the firstborn Son, if you can receive that. Isaiah 10 and verse 18. And it shall consume the glory of the forest and of his fruitful field, both soul and body. And they shall be as when a stand-bearer fainteth. And the rest of the trees of his forest shall be few, that a child may write them. All right, going into, the elite and whatnot. Because you devils are ultimately done. You're done, son. Let me see how many scriptures I got left. All right, I have to do a part 3. I'm almost at the plantation. Isaiah, yeah, this will be a good verse to finish off. Isaiah chapter 10 and verse 20. And it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant, right, the elect, the 1/3, that the remnant of Israel, and as such as are escaped of the house of Jacob, shall no more stay upon him, right? Esau, Edom, the self-proclaimed, the self-proclaimed white man. All right, there's no such thing as that. You're just a different shade of red. And it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant, the elect, all right, the 1/3, the prophets, the elders, the bishops on down, that the remnant of Israel and such as escaped, right, from Jacob's trouble and etc., of the house of Jacob shall no more again, all right, we took off, all right, our filthy clothing. All right, we put off all the philosophies of Esau, Edom when you come into this truth, okay? That's us, that's us not staying upon him. That smote them, right? Slavery, rods of iron, or iron around our necks, right? What? Slashes and lashes in our backs. What? Cotton field for 48, 72 hours a day, right? House niggas, field niggas, all right? Them euthanizing our men, okay? All that shit. That's an example of them, of you devils smoting us. All right. But shall stay upon the Lord, and it's in capital letters, Yahweh, the Holy One of Israel, in truth. All right, we're going to have to do a part 3 to this lesson, it seems. Nonetheless, I pray that you were edified by this lesson. I'm going to close it out by saying, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Call Halal Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakah Kodash, Shalom.